I've been using Sophia.org, Sophia Learning LLC, whatever it's called. I've been using Sophia for 30 days now, and I want to give you guys some updates, let you know what I like, what I didn't like. I want to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly about kind of my plans, what I've achieved, what I screwed up, and what's going to happen in the future. So let's just go ahead and get into it. If you guys are new to the channel, you don't know what I'm doing, basically, the ultimate goal is to achieve my bachelor's degree in cybersecurity and information assurance at a college called Western Governors University, hereby referred to as WGU. And WGU allows you to transfer over college credit from a lot of different schools and or programs. And one of those is Sophia. And what I've been doing is I've been trying to get as many classes done with Sophia as I can to transfer over as college credit to help knock off some of those WGU classes. And so for this video, I'm going to give you an update on what's happened, and I am going to tell you what my next steps are. So let's just get into it. Let's talk about it. I think what I want to do first is I just kind of want to show you the progress of what I'm doing and how I've gotten so far. So let's do that. This is kind of the sheet that I've been using. The main thing I want you guys to pay attention to is this left side right here, because everything that is green is the classes that I've technically finished, either with Sophia Learning or with the certifications that I've transferred over. Now, mind you, I still don't plan on even starting WGU until January, but if you look at this, and I was so excited when I actually realized it, 17 classes are already done. This is the best news I could have. 17 classes are done. It's a total of 34 classes. I am including this Touchstone as a class because that's kind of how it's, this written capstone is like your final project. I'm including that in the 34, but there's 34 in total and 17 are done, okay? I'm so excited about that. I'm finished with half of the entire bachelor's course, and I haven't even started the bachelor's course yet. So yeah, that's 17 classes worth 62 credits. So in terms of my overall progress, in my opinion, this is really, really good, and I'm really excited to, just after the first month of trying to, get some credits that I can transfer over, I managed to do it. So I'm super happy about that. One of the things that I want to show you is kind of how that progress has happened. I'm kind of a visual person, and I'm assuming most of you here are as well. So I'm going to make it a little bit easier on you. So what I did was I took all of the classes that I'm currently, or that I have taken, and I put them all in a calendar so you can see. Now, I started trying to do Sophia. I started on the 9th of August. And so looking at a whole 30 days, I started on the 9th. It's actually today is September 10th, but going from August 9th to September 9th, this is what I have. Okay, so I just want to run through this real quick, and then we'll kind of get to the bad, and then we'll get to the ugly. Obviously, I'm sure you can see some bad right here, but I'll explain it in a second. So we started off on the 9th. I started off doing the project management class. I enjoyed it, but it took me 2 days to complete the class. I think that was 3 or 4 credits done. Once I finished that, only took me a day to do intro to IT. Intro to web development took a day. Macroeconomics took 2, and then it kind of went on from there. I will say that, in my opinion, the hardest class that I took was the Introduction to Relational Databases. It's a SQL class. And yeah, it was awful. It's actually rated one of the worst classes on Sophia so far. It's probably like top 3. A lot of people complain about it. I won't get too much into each class right now because I don't want this video to get super long. This is mainly just a progress update. So yeah, that was difficult. College algebra took me 8 days. So that was interesting. But yeah, this is just kind of overall what it looks like. All of these classes that you see here were all completed within the first 30 days with the exception of one, and that is the English Composition 1. So one of the things that I think is important for you to know, if you don't know already, is when you attend Sophia, there are like two different types of classes you can do. You can do the classes that have something called challenges and milestones, and then you can do other classes that require something called touchstones. And your challenge and milestones are pretty simple. It's just like it's either kind of a quiz with questions you have to answer, or it's just it'll give you a section of information, and then you answer it. But the thing is, it's all open book. It's all like one question, 4 answers. You choose the right answer and you move on. The big thing about that is that when you finish it, when you finish the milestone or whatever, you just move on to the next one, and you are instantly graded right then and there. You either pass it or you fail it. That's great. Well, the touchstones aren't like that. So there are 3 classes. In fact, let me go back here. And I told you I was doing Sophia, but I think I didn't tell you, is not in this video anyways, is that although you can transfer over credits, you can't transfer over credits for everything. Specifically with Sophia, there are 11 classes that you can transfer over to WGU as college credit once you finish them. And so I listed all of the 11 classes, and I've completed 8 of them. There are 3 classes that are left. Coincidentally enough, it's the top 3 up here. It's English Composition 1, English Composition 2, and Communications, which for Sophia, that class is public speaking. But yeah, so that's where I am. I've knocked out 8 of all the other kind of easier classes. I just have these 3 left. And that kind of brings me to the bad. So the bad is that you're allowed to take 2 classes at a time. And in this particular situation right here on the 17th, what happened was I finished environmental science, and once the class was done, then I started statistics. It wasn't 3 classes at the same time. But, the English Composition 1, English Composition 2, and public speaking, because they require touchstones, I was only focusing on doing one of those classes at a time while doing everything else as regular classes. And the problem is, did I tell you what touchstones are? Touchstones are basically, apparently, they're not just written assignments. So you can do written assignments, but like in the case of the public speaking class, I think one of them I have to create a video, and then there's one of them, I think it's like an audio thing. But the problem with touchstones, and this is going to lead us into the ugly section in a minute. The problem with touchstones is that they have to be manually graded. Now, Sophia's policy is that it can take them up to 7 business days to manually grade your assignment. And that means that it's going to slow you down, which is why you don't want to do 2 touchstone classes at the same time, because you're just going to lock yourself into waiting for it to get graded. So let me just talk about the ugly right now, and then I'll kind of talk about what it is that I need to do going forward. So I started the English composition class on the 11th. This is like day 3 of me starting. And I actually submitted my first touchstone assignment on the 12th. And it took them until the 19th to grade it and give it back to me. What I was supposed to do, what I planned to do, was to do another touchstone and submit it within the first couple days of me getting the original one back. And I didn't do it. These 2 days, I got frustrated trying to figure out if I was going to take college algebra next or relational databases next. And I couldn't figure out what topic I wanted to do for English. So I ended up just not doing either one of them. But then eventually I did college algebra and relational databases. The problem is I did not do I have not touched this English composition class all the way up until now. And, well, let me give you the ugly news. I got a notification yesterday. I logged into Sophia and I got a notification, and I'm going to read it to you because I took a screenshot of it. I'm pretty sure this notification was sent out to everybody, but it says, due to an increase in submissions, Touchstone grading is taking slightly longer than usual. Currently, Touchstones may take as long as 10 business days to be graded. We appreciate your patience with us as our graders work through this influx. So yeah, that's actually really bad. Really bad. The reason why this is such a big problem is because if it's going to take them 2 weeks to grade a paper, I'm just going to be in a really bad spot. In fact, you know what? Let me just show you. I can show you because I'm pretty sure I have a tab for this. Yeah, so I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. Try to anyways. Okay, so the 3 classes that I have left for Sophia is English Composition 1, English Composition 2, Public Speaking. I only did one of the Touchstone classes for English Composition 1, so I still have 4 Touchstones left. I have all 7 Touchstones for English Composition 2 and 4 Touchstones for Public Speaking, which consists of, I think one of them's a paper, then you got a couple audio, and then you have the video, right? So 4, 4, and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I have 15 Touchstones to do in total, and they can take up to 2 weeks for me to get those Touchstones back. Oh, by the way, you can't submit every single one of them at the same time. And so the problem is that if I have to wait for them to do one before I can submit another, and I can submit some. Let me just show you. I think I can show you this without getting in trouble. Hopefully, I'm really hoping that's the situation. But this is my English Composition 1 class, and so I've already done all of the challenge classes. You don't have to worry about any of that. It's already done. Specifically the Touchstone. It's a narrative essay. I don't want to click on it because I don't want to give away like exactly what you're supposed to do. I don't want to get in trouble for that. But I submitted the Touchstone, took them 7 days, and I got 44 out of 50 as my score. So right now my score for the class is 94% because I got 44 out of 50 on my Touchstone. But I have 4 more Touchstones left. Let me just show you here. If I look at this one, this particular one right here, it says that I have to do an informative essay revision. It's telling me I have to do a revision of this one that I haven't submitted yet. So the problem here is that this particular Touchstone, I can't even submit this Touchstone until the previous Touchstone has been scored. So I have to send them this Touchstone. I have to wait not 5 to 7 business days, but up to 10 business days before I get the results. And then, assuming that I passed the previous one, then I can submit the next one, and then I'm gonna have to wait another 10 days. So just in general, I am a bit worried about potentially not finishing those in time. And if that is the case, it's my fault because I should have done what I was supposed to do, right? Like the first English Composition 1, I should have done that already. I should have done it, and I didn't. I was focusing on the other classes. I kind of put this one off, and because of that, now I'm in a situation to where I may not be able to get them all done in time. So we'll see what happens there. But you may be thinking to yourself, like, it's September 10th. If I don't start school until January, then how could I not get it done in time? 15 Touchstones. How is it going to take me over 3 months to do it, right? Because let's say it's like mid-September now. There's also October, November, and December. That's like 3.5 months to get all of this done, right? Wrong. Wrong. So let me explain this. First of all, you have 30 days to the way that it works. So let's say I'm starting in January. December 1st is when I have to submit all of the Touchstones. They all must be submitted within that 30-day mark before that 30-day mark before you would start. So I would have to submit everything. WGU WGU would need to get it, look at it, go through everything. So that means that technically that whole month is a no-go for me. I must have everything done, ideally, by November 30th. But that's not true either, because what I've seen is that when you submit a transcript, and by the way, you can't submit the transcript. The like the school or the certification body or whatever, they have to submit it on your behalf, because WGU won't just take you doing it on your own. So you have to get them to submit it, which could take a day, week, whatever. And then WGU, once they finally get it, they have to process it for another week or two or something like that. So ultimately what happens is, in my opinion, that could be like 3-4 weeks. So I am thinking that at the absolute minimum, I need to have everything done a month and a half in advance. If I don't do it a month and a half in advance, there's no way I'm going to be able to transfer the credits in time to start WGU in January. And so with that being said, this is where I screwed up, because I didn't do the English composition class. And now because the 3 classes that are left with Sophia are all Touchstone related, and there's 15 in total, I don't think Sophia is going to be able to grade all of them, even if I did them all and submitted them in the time that I'm allowed to submit them in, before I would have had to submit the transcripts. And so that's a big problem. But I have a plan. I have a way that I think I'm going to be able to still make this work. I just gotta, I gotta take it serious. I gotta get back in there. I gotta do it. So let me show you. I'm gonna show you what my plan is here. Let me say this too. Study.com. My original plan was to transfer as many credits as I can with both study.com and sophia.org, right? Sophia, I can transfer a maximum of 11 classes because they have 11 classes that transfer. Study.com, there's a lot more classes that transfer, but study.com was more expensive, and I didn't want to do that. So if I had the option to do study.com or Sophia, I would do the Sophia classes, and then whatever was left, like for example, these 3, which is database management, which is a different database management than the database management foundation, which was the relational database classes. All the classes that were left over that were not transferable from Sophia, I would just do them on study.com. But this is the big thing here. The big thing is, it looks like it's unlikely that I'm going to be able to do these 3 classes, the 3 English Composition 1, English Composition 2, and Communications, which is public speaking for the Sophia class. It's unlikely I'm going to be able to do all 15 of those touchstones and submit them in time. So what I think I might do is, instead of doing English Composition 2 using Sophia, I think I might do the English Composition 2 class using study.com instead, because their system is a little bit different. And so we'll see. We'll see if that works. But I'm going to go down a little bit. I know I said I was going to update this bottom part so it looked better. I haven't done it yet, but bear with me for a second. So the way that this is study.com, it was only going to be 6 classes that I was going to transfer over. My plan, and this is going to start on Monday. I made the little calendar here to show you my 30-day progress with Sophia. I'm going to do the same thing for study.com. But my plan is to do 6 study.com classes to basically round out the remaining 25%, because you can transfer a total of 75% of your classes to WGU. The requirement is that you must take at least 25% of the total classes at WGU. So I was going to transfer 73%, something like that. But that's basically where I am right now, is that starting on Monday, I am going to start doing study.com classes. how long is it going to take for me to do the study.com classes? Is it possible for me to finish a class in 1 or 2 days? I don't know. And honestly, I don't think so. Because unlike Sophia, study.com requires you to have a proctored exam at the end, which means you're going to have to sit and, not talk, but you're going to have to, somebody's going to be watching you as you take the exam. Which means that I probably am going to have to schedule it beforehand. So I don't know how easy that's going to be. And also, the study.com classes are a little more complicated. So let me just show you. I am planning on taking one of these, either cyber defense or digital forensics. Let me just pull up, I don't know. Let's pull up cyber defense. Oops, sorry. I meant over here. So we'll pull up the cybersecurity class. So here you go. So this is study.com. There's computer science, cybersecurity, risk analysis management class, 101 lessons, 8 minutes long. And yeah, so I'm going to do this on Monday. How long is it going to take me to do it? I don't know. I have no idea. But my goal, again, is to do at least, probably not even at least, it's probably going to be one. I'm going to do one class every single week, hopefully. And if I do that, it's only going to take me 6 weeks to do all of the 6 study.com classes. And what that will do, let me just look at my calendar. What's 6 weeks from now? Assuming that I start on Monday, that's 1, 2, 3, so that'd be the 3rd, 4, 5, 6. So we're talking about the end of October. The 24th of October, I should be done with all of the study.com classes, which is perfect because it'll still give me a couple of weeks to make sure everything gets transferred over. That'll probably happen sometime like mid-November. WGU will get everything they need. And then on December 1st, I can start my 30 days of doing paperwork and all that other stuff with them to ultimately start in January. So that's good. I'm still on track to getting all of this done. It's just that I was really thrown a curveball with this one because I was already not doing the touchstones in time. And then on top of that, I now know that they're going to take even longer to grade the assignments. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So the plan, let me just tell you what the plan is now. So we are, as of today, I have 62 credits that are being transferred into WGU. That's 50%-ish. It's 17 classes, 62 credits. It's 122 credits in total, I think. So it's a little over 50% in credits, but in classes, it's half the classes. What I'm going to do probably tomorrow I'm just going to go hard and do as much as I can for English Composition 1. And I can technically do 2 classes at the same time. I haven't been doing it. So I'll probably do public speaking as well. And I'll try to knock those out. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I'm going to be able to really get those done quickly, but I can at least do enough to submit some stuff to Sophia, so Sophia can grade it within 2 weeks and give it back to me, and we can go from there. I'm only worried, honestly, about the English Composition 2 class because this class alone has 7 touchstones, and 7 touchstones taking over 2 weeks, or taking 2 weeks to grade, when I can't submit all 7 at the same time, is what's going to potentially make it so that I can't get them all done in time. But what I think I'm going to do, I will still try to use Sophia, but if it looks like it's not going to work and I'm not going to be able to get it all done in time, I'll just, focus on study.com instead. And I'll try to do that class. It'll probably be the last class that I do because I want to do the other study.com classes first. But yeah, that's the plan. There's one thing that I want to mention here on this calendar kind of before I end the video. And it's that what you can see here, this is this week. What you can see is that I finished the relational database class last Sunday, and I haven't done any classes since then. I haven't even touched the English composition class either. So you may be wondering, like, damn, did you just take a whole week off and do absolutely nothing? I, I'm the type of person that, like, I will take responsibility for the things I did wrong, 100%. But I also recognize that there are times when I need to do other things, and there are times when I have legitimate reasons for choosing to do one thing over another. So I have not done any Sophia stuff this week, but I'm going to tell you why. So basically, what's happened this week is I have been really working a lot at work. There have been a couple of days that I was pushing almost 12 hours, just trying to get some of the stuff that I need to get done at work. Let me just first stop and say I love my job. The job's great. I'm enjoying it. By far, the boss that I have right now is the best boss that I've ever worked with. He has no idea that I worked, well over 40 hours, and he's not going to know. I'm a salaried employee, so there's no point in telling him. But yeah, the reason why I worked so late was because there was a project that I needed to get done. I told him I would have it done by a certain time, and I kept running into a lot of roadblocks and problems. So I chose to focus on my job instead of focusing on my schooling. My schooling is very important to me, and it is a very high priority to me. But I'm not going to BS you. My number one priority right now is my job. And the reason why is because my job is going to fund, well, I mean, I'm going to fund it, but my job is I make the money from my job that will allow me to attend WGU in January. It allows me to live in this house, even though I don't own this house. It is what is keeping me going. Without this job, I wouldn't be able to do anything that I'm able to do now. So I have to put priority in that. And, I'm pretty much a small to one person team in my area with the company. So yeah, I mean, I got responsibilities. I got stuff I got to do. And if I have to take, an extended time to get it done, then I'm going to do it. And the thing is me working the extra amount that I worked this week makes it so that next week I don't have to do a lot of extra stuff, right? And so what I'll be able to do is I will be able to actually focus on study.com and that cybersecurity class. Honestly, man, I'm excited to finally go back to studying something security related because, I told you before, if it's not security related, oh my God, sometimes it's so difficult to get through it because it's just not something I'm interested in. Algebra, didn't care about it. It was boring. Statistics, super boring. Relational databases wasn't boring. It was just the study material was awful. So I can tell you now, English Composition 1, English Composition 2, public speaking, they're all really boring to me. So I'm excited to get back to study.com or trying out study.com. I'm excited to get back to studying security related stuff. And so, we'll see what happens. But yeah, this weekend is going to be another grind weekend. As usual, I'm going to try to do as much Sophia stuff as I can. Since it's been over a month, yesterday I got charged $100 for, another month of Sophia, which is fine. It's $100 a month. But yeah, I'm going to do both and we'll see what happens. So I guess just to wrap it all up, this is the situation. The good after 30 days is I managed to do 8 classes in Sophia. And while some of it was very frustrating, I got through it. I'm happy. We're now at 50% of all of the bachelor's classes being done before I even start WGU. I'm super excited about that. And I'm ready now to try the other way of transferring credits, which is through study.com, which I've never used study.com before. I'm going to pay for it on Monday, and I'm going to start doing it. By the way, I'll probably give you guys another update video after I finish my first study.com class, so I can tell you what I think about study.com after I've actually used it. So that'll probably come out at the end of next week, assuming that I manage to finish the class. But yeah, that'll give me an idea of how much I actually have to do. So that's the good. The bad is I did not take the Touchstone classes. I don't want to say I didn't take them too seriously, but I didn't really apply myself in those. I applied myself in the other classes, and now I'm behind on the Touchstone classes. And I may have to use an alternative method to transfer those over, which is to, instead of doing all three of them with Sophia, now I might have to do one of them with study.com, or else I'm not going to finish in time. And then the ugly is, as far as I'm concerned, is that now Sophia Learning is taking up to 2 weeks to grade each Touchstone, which is just awful. But I do want to say that, like, while I am pretty frustrated and disappointed about that, I'm not mad at Sophia. I already looked them up on LinkedIn. Sophia is a small company, and there's no telling what their business is like. How many employees they have, how quickly they can get things done. Situations always happen that we may or may not know about. So, the reality is, if I would have done what I was supposed to do, and I would have just worked specifically on that English class as soon as I got my results back from the first the first Touchstone assignment that I submitted, then I could have worked on it, submitted another one, and we'd be fine. It's my fault that I didn't take that class as seriously as the other one. So that's where we are. But the good news is that it can be fixed. I still have time to do all of it, and I am still planning on transferring 75% of my credits before I start WGU in January. So yeah, that's it. I'll try to give you guys another update video in a week after I've done study.com. But until then, I appreciate you guys watching. One other thing that I'll say is I am still pretty much always typing in WGU online, listening to people, listening to their stories. I suggest you guys do the same. Some pretty interesting stories out there about people, how they're doing WGU, their progress, their fails, stuff like that. They're being pretty open and honest. I'm trying to be open and honest as well. There are ways that I'm succeeding. There are ways that I'm failing. But I think the biggest thing is to just keep going. I'd say right now, I feel pretty good. I'm not like burned out or anything, but I do need to be careful because between work picking up and then me feeling like I'm falling behind with this school stuff, it is very easy to potentially burn myself out, but I'm going to try not to do that. So, all right, that's it. Thank you guys. Damn, this is over 30 minutes. I think this is the longest video I've done so far, but yeah, that is my month update. I will try to give you guys another update in a week, assuming that I pass study.com, but until then, you guys take care.